Hey, happy Halloween, everyone. If you celebrate it. We don't do much for Halloween. I know I just did a whole book about Oddtober, following along with the story, but I don't dress up or anything. So whatever you do today, I hope you had a great day. I filmed the last 2 days of just shortly, an hour or two ago, but it's only about a 10-minute video, and my cat interrupts it and everything kind of goes into chaos. So I decided I'm just going to do a flip through of the whole album, and that'll be the end of my Oddtober 25. So let's get started. I'll read as I go. It says, as I open the door to my house, I look around and can see it is fully decked out in Halloween decor. This is day 1. I cannot believe I am here again on this same old gramophone. I can hear a spooky song playing. And I always feel like somebody's watching me. That's what I chose as my creepy song. I walk through the foyer toward the console table, and I see yet another note in an envelope addressed to me. That's what we have here. The note is from my deceased relative. Inside the envelope are schematics, a rusty key, and an arcade token. And so I did, that is magnetic down, and there's the token, the key, and the schematics. I decided to keep them in here, and you just pretend to have them the rest of the time. I put them into my pocket. Let's pretend I did that. I'll need them later. After these whirlwind events, I could use a hot shower. So keep in mind that there's 3 other years of this story, so it all kind of links together, but I've only done this one so far. I could use a hot shower. So I head up to the bathroom, and the bath rug on the floor catches my eye. I step toward the shower and feel some kind of hardware under my feet. I lift the bath mug, and lo and behold, it's a trapdoor. Trapdoor! Under the rug. As the trapdoor creaks open, I reach into my pocket and pull out the rusty key to give it a try on this mysterious door. And surprise, it works. Here's the key out of my pocket. It does actually fit into there, but I don't need to do that. As the trapdoor creaks open, I see a familiar sight. It's the old guiding hand telling me to head into this trapdoor abyss. So my trapdoor opens. Hidden in the shadows. There's the hand. The hand never steered me wrong before, so I make my way into what I think is the basement, and I see a Zoltar fortune-telling machine. Now, why would this be here? I wondered to myself. And it's not a Zoltar, but it's a fortune-telling machine. Naturally, I press the button to see if it works. I remember that I have a token in my pocket. I plop this into the slot, and suddenly a curtain opens. Whoosh. It lights up. I see the familiar face of the smiling man. I don't know if you could see it, but under here is the smiling man. It's just being creepy in the background. Oh, sorry. I wait in terror as the fortune prints out. It says, "It's about time." And here's the fortune. And suddenly, a door to the basement swings open. I tuck this mysterious fortune in my pocket and head for the door. In this room, I find a barren bookshelf with just a couple of books on it. The one stands out. It's an old yearbook. That's this one right here. I open to a bookmarked page. Oh yeah, I haven't put the bookmark in yet. Here's the yearbook. I meant to do just trim a ribbon and put it in there. And I see a class picture of the smiling man, the witch from the woods, and gasp, my relative as children. So here's the, I just kind of did like a school theme, bones, you know. Here's a classroom. I am stunned to see this trio were childhood friends. I flip a few pages and see the uncanny trio dressed just like the trick-or-treat kids I've seen on this wild journey. I realize it was them all along. And this is the costume party. I continue to explore the bookcase or bookshelf. I find a small, strange-looking clock. It's not really strange-looking, just a regular clock. I pick it up, moving the dials to 10:31. And suddenly, the bookshelf begins to stutter and quake open. That's what this little thing's for. It's just like, there's a secret passage. This was my first time making a sliding feature in anything. Went okay, but I know I would change it a little bit. I'd do it a little bit differently if I do it again. 16. This place is never ending. Of course, I enter the passage and am now in a room with foreign-looking machinery. Lights and buttons are flashing. I have to get a closer look. So here's my machine. As I'm looking, a lot of the gadgets on this machine are familiar to me, and it hits me. It matches the schematics in my pocket. So I take it out of my pocket and begin to inspect the blueprint. And here's the same schematics that I had in the beginning, but I've made a little secret pocket there for it. I've got it. I punch in the sequence of operations as it reads in the blueprint into the machine, and whoa, the machine rattles and I see 3 ghostly figures float from behind this haunted contraption. Sorry guys, I have to flip it to this. Ghostly. As I've said in other, I kept this pretty PC in case I can show my nieces what I did, because I think they'll like it. It's my relative, my nemesis, and the witch. They have a message for me. In haunting unison, they say, "Save us from this house. Please set us free." I pick my jaw up off the ground. I'm so proud of this paper I made behind there. It's all crazy looking. And I did some distress splattering, and I see that it's like looking pretty good there. I slowly realize what's happening. Their poor spirits are trapped in a time loop, and I've also been dragged into it. I need to save us all. What's causing this, though? Oh, the Zoltar machine. Here, this is how I did the time loop. This is sort of just like the other world I did on paper, and then so shaken, I run back to the basement where Zoltar is. I scan the room and see a crowbar. Sorry. I'm reading it off my computer so that I don't have to be looking at a piece of paper, because it's very tiny on the piece of paper. And it just sort of went away. Anyway, I see a crowbar on the ground. I use the beak of the crowbar to latch on and unplug the Zoltar. So it's movable, the crowbar. Just as soon as it unplugs, the machine flashes. So here it is unplugged. Orange, green, and then pure darkness. Then I hear the sound of my relatives laughing, a witch's cackle, and carnival music. I look up to see the spirits of the trio wisping up, up, up. Now, I saw... I saw this made by a couple of people, but most recently, Bella Boo, who was my main inspiration for doing this book. And so I kind of took an idea from one of her projects and made it so the ghosts can go, woo. I haven't shown some of these. I stopped at one of the pages back here. And then when I pick up again, it's when I'm making the other pages. So, let's see. Then I hear the sound of my relative laughing at food. Look up and they are floating away. I look up at the ceiling in awe, and as soon as the spirits have vanished into oblivion, I'm startled to see bones falling from where they depart. The bones hit the ground and read, "We're free." I hurry back into the lab and notice the time machine is still sputtering. On the console, I spot a small leather journal. And here we have it. I need to do something because it really melds way too much into the background there. I don't know whether I need to put some fabric around it, something to make it stand out a little bit more. I still have that to do. Inside the journal, it delves into how the trio created the time machine together as a fun project. The smiling man got upset and ultimately betrayed his friends group and created Zoltar as payback. So I have a little book here that has schematics and different things that maybe would make you think he's doing something. That was my interpretation of it. The smiling man made a mistake in his creation of this payback machine, and it backfired, trapping the trio in the longest Halloween ever. And I did make this page so people could see. This is supposed to be frustration and, I guess, anger at getting them all trapped into the Halloween loop. While holding the journal, something falls out. It's the will that my relative created, leaving this house to me, and ultimately drawing me to save them from this time loop. And I have made this so you can remove it. And it goes right back on. There's a magnet. See? But I do it so it's under the hand. While holding the journals, oh, something falls out. Well, I just did that. Now that this is all over, I head back up and prep for some much needed rest. Here's me standing there like, ugh. Finally in bed. Here's the bed. These blankets feel amazing as I drift off into sleepland. Back in the other room, the time machine whirs to life, flickering, and lights read, "Happy Halloween." And so this is my interpretation of that. And I've made it so that I can put the story into this little pocket. There we go. And then it's back to the very beginning. And there we go. My first time doing the Oddtober. I had a lot of fun. I'm going to be slowly working on last year's. My hopes is to get all 4 done so that they all can just be together and be a story. All right, guys. Thank you for joining me through this challenge and project this month. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see everybody's that they finished up. And I hope that whatever you do today to celebrate or not celebrate Halloween, that it was a wonderful day for you. And I will see you later. Thank you. Thanks for watching.